I'm Kevin Roach. I'm a local here. Been back in Moscow for a while. I teach at the middle school. I've got a couple of my students here now, which is awesome that they are here. I'm gonna use a little bit of analogies as far as uh, how teaching has evolved to technology, but also how the Forest Service has as well, and how we have to keep our connection to the land with actual people and boots on the ground. So this dates me a little bit with my Forest Service career. This is my rookie year. I was 19. That's Indian Hill Lookout before the Slims fire and the Wash fire. It's very different up there now. Okay, so part of this, I'm borrowing some words from Tom Vanderwater. He's my neighbor at Coolwater Lookout, and he is also a teacher, so we could both talk about how our reliance on technology hasn't necessarily made us better at teaching or at firefighting. So bear with me on this one. So he's a coach also, and I've coached various sports, but as a teacher now, we rely real heavily on technology, and I've spent a lot of days wandering through the woods looking for a lat long of where Air Patrol has said where a fire was. And I mean, we're talking like miles away from where they said the lat long of this lightning strike was. So this is almost a PR pitch for lookout towers of why the human eye and being from a fixed location, knowing where that lightning strike happened is a big deal. Also, another thing that AI cannot do is it doesn't replace years of experience and what we like to say, local knowledge back at Moose Creek Ranger District. We even made up our own term for people who rely on Google Earth to tell them what's on the ground when it could be very different from what's actually on the ground. We call that Google Truth. Google Truth does not equate to what it really looks like when you're trying to hike into a location.
Is it the marching band?
Yeah.
Oh
I guess someone's ripping the bagpipes.
That's all right.
They're probably they're practicing for graduation.
I'm
They are in
very
front of
Irish, so
graduation.
it's okay.
Oh.
Another big part about what I find valuable, especially in my location at Corral Hill, we're pretty busy on a daily basis with people traveling through. The Elk City Wagon Road's a big draw for people in the summer to travel that route, and then even bump onto the Magruder corridor. I had a guy stop by last year who he left from Lolo, came over the 500 road, gassed up in Kuski, got some groceries, and then he was doubling back headed on the Magruder Road all the way back to Darby. So we've got some hardcore people that like to cover a lot of ground and see a lot of the area there. I mean, even in the Nez Perce picked that as one of their routes to Montana as well. So part of, I think, a big deal is to be there for people to ask questions and actually be serving the people. The motto allegedly of the Forest Service is caring for the land and serving the people. And I think we need to maintain that as far as that needs to be as important as detecting fires. That picture on the far right, my wife took that. That made it in the FFLA calendar a couple years ago, and I'm rocking that T-shirt. So there are my main reasons why I think this job is the best job ever. I get to go camping with my kids all summer. It is, I don't know what took me so long to figure this out, but firefighting is its own drug. And I did firefighting for a long time, and I've been fortunate to be on the same district. Some people would say, well, why didn't you go other places? And it's like, because it's a Selway. Why would I go anywhere else? So this was when we first moved up to the tower. My girls have grown quite a bit since then, but picture on the left, was our first summer up there, and then picture on the right was just this last summer. We may be the only, in fact, I guarantee we are the only lookout tower that has both a basketball hoop and a rope swing underneath the tower. Our dog is really good at rebounding. As you can see, it's just out of his reach there. He's trying to get the ball off the basket, so we'll shoot it again for him. You can kind of see behind the dog too. I made some planter boxes. I thought I was a gardener there for a while, and everything looks real nice, and the flowers would bloom and look great, and then the deer would just rip them out. Or if we left to go get groceries and come back, then the free range cows would come up there and knock everything over. So
Plant delphinium,
yeah,
poisonous.
they looked really good there for a second. And then our pictures at night, the picture on the left was over Labor Day. No, the tower's not on fire. That was just time lapse.
That was an open exposure. He had a bonfire going, so I just like left the camera on for 10 seconds.
So those are the nightlife pictures, and then the sunsets every night. It's pretty awesome up there. We kind of have a unique location where on a day like today, if you were up there, you could see the Wallowa Mountains. You can see Moscow Mountain clearly. And there's one peak on the Bitterroot Range on the Montana side that we can see as well. So we can see 4 states from there. And then you can just see how the prairie changes from now with everything being green all through harvest. And it's a pretty awesome place to be. And almost every night looks just like that. We have lots of cool weather. We get lots of full rainbows. Full moon coming over Pilot Knob there. Pilot Knob is only 7 miles away. And then 2 of the kids watching as the storm just passed over us, and we're looking for smokes. Unsuccessful that day. We got about 0.6 of an inch of rain that day in that storm. So a lot of water dogs. Speaking of dogs, I've taken lots of pictures of the kids. I don't know how they can sleep in sometimes with the sun blasting through the windows, but I take lots of pictures of the dogs sleeping on them and how they end up. It's pretty awesome. Fit 4 of us and a dog in there at the same time. We get creative. Last year, my second week up there at the tower, we got hit with a pretty good snowstorm. There was lightning. I had about 4 inches of snow on the catwalk. 2 sides of the lookout tower were iced over and snow plastered to it. I couldn't see anything for about 4 days. So I just drank coffee and read books. And then some of the other best parts about it is the huckleberries and the campfires and the s'mores, and no lookout story would be complete without a bear. So my daughter Maylee got her first bear up there, and that was a great adventure as well. And then huckleberry hands and coffee and bacon makes for a great summer.
5 gallons of huckleberries this last year.
Yeah, we get a pretty good haul. And I forgot to put my Instagram up there, but it's Corral Hill Coffee Time, so check that out. And
This is so